What's going on, you guys? Theo here with the big review, back yet again with another King of Fighters All-Star video, and today we are going to be taking a look at all the topics in the news for King of Fighters All-Star that we weren't able to get to in yesterday's video for the sake of time. And yes, in case you are wondering, I am awake today, and I did get a full night's rest, thankfully. So, before we jump into everything, make sure you smash that like button and subscribe. Helps me out a ton as a new YouTuber. And let's go ahead and start it out today with this new Valentine Pass. Now, this new Valentine Pass is pretty much what we've come to expect from from passes in general in the past. Passes in the past. Huh. That's a weird sentence to say. Anyway, when it comes to the different tiers here, we've got two different ones. We have the $5 tier, which is going to be this one here. And then we also have the atypical whale tier that actually looks pretty good this time around. But let's go ahead and break them down. So this first one here, the $5 tier, you're not going to be seeing a whole lot in the way of interesting in-game items here outside of the 120 auto-clear tickets, which is always wanted and needed after a World Drop event. But really what sells this for $5 is going to be the 2 gold tokens as well as the silver tokens. So that is really what makes this worth it. Typically the conversion from real world currency to imaginary Monopoly money, KOF All-Star money, is about $10 per multi, and then anything below that is considered kind of a good deal overall. So with this, having 2 there for $5 for multis is actually very much so worth it. So this is worth it. If you enjoy this game in any capacity and like to support it in any way, $5 for this is worth it. So I would highly recommend that one for you guys. Maybe use some of your, in the past I've told you guys to do the Google Play surveys or to do the Google Play points, something like that. Maybe you have some of that stuff banked and you can get this like I do, which is what I'm planning to do off screen when I get done here. But yeah, pretty good deal. And then if you go to this one here, this is where you got to really think, because $50 is steep. And what I will say is in the past, these have not really been worth it. This one is decent. It's worth it if you got a bunch of money. So let's take a look at it now. 4,000 rubies right off the bat, really, really good. Dimensional Invitation purple, really, really good. And then you got a bunch of pretty decent items here. So you got a 5 to 6 star battle card summon ticket, which is going to have kind of, no, that's not what I wanted to click on. This guy here is going to have all of your fest cards available in it. Now obviously you might end up with a non-fest card, but having all those in there is actually pretty nice. These are always pretty fun tickets because you never know what you're going to get. And then you got your fest memory selectors. Obviously these are not going to be actual fest memories, they're just going to be for generics, but you get 5 of them, which is pretty good. You're going to get a bunch of Awakened tier XP caps, which is always nice. 300 plus capsule selection boxes, which is really good. And then you start to get into the meat and potatoes of everything. We'll start at the bottom on this one, but you get 120 total hammers, you get 20 elite enhancement hammers, which are the ones that pretty much increase the percentage chance by 3% every single time if it fails, which is really nice. And then you've got the gold enhancement hammers, you got 100 of those, which are very nice as well, so that's really good. You have a Fest Fighter voucher. Now this is a volume 11, so it's also going to have Elizabeth in it. It is random, it's not a selector, but hey, it has everybody in here up to date with all the different fighters, so not bad. I'm glad that they didn't put an old one in there. They very well could have, but... And then you've got a Fest Fighter memory selector here, if I can get it. And what you'll see here is it is going to allow you to select any one of these, and that is a pretty good deal. So as you're seeing here, this $50 one is not bad this time around. I'm actually pretty much happy with where this one's at. I think, and you'll see Elizabeth's in there. This is up to date. So I think that this might actually be a pretty good deal overall. And then we get into the more interesting part. And I say interesting because, so you have these 2 stone boxes, right? You have a Power Gauge Plus selection stone box, and then you have a Starlight Attack Plus imprint stone selection box. So we'll actually start out with the Starlight one. You basically can choose any one of these that you want for the new Starlight stones. So if you have Elizabeth, this might be a selling point, because these right now outside of this are going to be locked behind the Lunatic difficulty for the Guild Raid, which we'll get to. But this is actually a pretty decent deal here. So I do like that. That's very nice that you have that ability to get that. Selection boxes are so much preferable to the random ones. I'm very glad that they're being a little bit nicer about the way they're doing these now. And then you've got this one here, which is going to be the Power Gauge Plus Imprint Stone Selection Box, which these are the new ones that came out before the new ones. So these are the old new ones. They're the Power Gauge ones. So basically what these are going to be, I'll kind of show you guys in case you've missed out on these and not seen these. Basically what they're going to be is they're going to be R stones that give power charge rate on the first effect. So you'll see down here that they are going to have a 3% charge rate, and then it goes up from there. I believe up to 10% is the full amount. I have to check the one that I have, but yeah, these guys overall are really good stones, very powerful stones. I do think that, all that being said, because I think we've covered everything in this box now, or in this pass rather, I think this is worth it. If you are somebody that already spends money on the game, if you're a whale, it's worth it. 100% worth it. If you're a dolphin, maybe it is a couple months worth of your budget, but it might be worth it. That is up to you. You are getting a decent amount of rubies in here also, so it's not like all this stuff is, you know, you're going to get this stuff and then you're going to use it and be done, and you're not going to have anything laying around for later for like the collab coming up or whatever the case. Those rubies will come in handy. So overall, I think this is a good deal for whales, and I think it's something dolphins, if they have it in their budget, is a decent one as well. So that is my opinion on that one. And then obviously the $4.99 one, as usual, that one is totally worth it. $4.99 if you like this game in any way, shape, or form and get any enjoyment out of it whatsoever. It is worth $5. So that is pretty much my opinion on the Valentine Pass, guys. Let's go ahead and move on now and talk about our next topic. Alrighty, you guys. So next thing I wanted to talk about was going to be these in-game shop items that had been put up for sale yesterday with the new update. We like to take a look at these every time they go up and just kind of do this for those of you who do not mind spending money on the game and are interested in whether or not these things are worth your money. So let's talk about them briefly here. So this first one is the cheapest one. It's $24.99. It's going to have 800 paid rubies, and then you're going to have 2 gold tokens for both the fighter summons as well as the card summons, and 100 auto clear tickets. As per usual, these are always going to be pretty worth if you are somebody that does spend money on the game. These are particularly good for dolphins because really you're almost getting 5 total multis here, really, if you think about it, because 800 rubies is either a full multi for cards or it is darn close to a full multi for the fighter summons. So basically, this is worth it, in my opinion, if you're a dolphin. It is something to look at. 100 auto clear tickets is a nice little throw-in as well. Again, if we think about kind of the usual pricing on these tokens and these summons, basically, again, a multi in Netmarble money is typically close to about $10. So being able to get about 5 for 25, that's really, really good. These, when they come around, for those of you who don't mind it, are pretty much worth it. So that is that one. Next up, we're going to go to the $50 one. And this is going to be the memory package. Basically, this is going to have a Fest Fighter memory selector in it. This is not a fully up-to-date one, if I do remember correctly. I don't believe Elizabeth is in here. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. I can't make it scroll. Okay. For whatever reason, this game does not want to scroll lately after this update. I don't know why. It's probably just something on my end. But anyway, it also has 2 dimension invitations, and it's going to have some Fest memory selection boxes, which again are generics, but 1,200 rubies and 100 selection boxes for your caps. I'd pass. I'd rather have the pass. I'd rather have the pass. Well, this is what the word pass today. But anyway, definitely not in my opinion. Now, as far as this one goes, this is the next step up. This is the $79.99 one, and this is where things start getting really nutty with your money. And this one is okay. It's almost 5,000 rubies. It's 4,600 rubies, which is pretty decent. Has an Elizabeth memory. It has 2 Fest memories that are going to be green color. So this is basically to unlock and build up Elizabeth if you have her. And then you have Awaken Tier 3 XP capsules times 200 and a Starlight Green Element Attack Plus Imprint Stone R mystery box. Whew. So yeah, basically, again, if you're somebody that's valuing these Starlight boxes quite a bit, or really, really wants them, or you're a whale, this is going to be worth it to you because you want the box and you want those rubies. So whales, maybe. I don't think so. Personally, if I were a whale, I wouldn't be buying it. But some people I could see having value here, so I'm going to say this one's okay, but I would say pass. I don't like this one. Now, as far as this last one here, this is going to be the guaranteed package. Now, these are typically the most bang for your buck. Now, you are going to get Elizabeth guaranteed. You're also going to get a memory for her. You'll see in this box. When you get these, you get everything in this box. So you don't just pick one. It's everything. So you get a memory. You also get some caps, and that's going to be really nice. But you also are going to get this fighter set growth box, which is going to have 300 caps in it and 32 of your rainbow cores, which is, I guess, something. Down here, you're also going to see that you are going to have another memory, which is pretty interesting. You actually are going to get 3 total memories, or 3 total Elizabeths, basically, in essence, from this. So you're going to get 1 to have her herself, or if you already have her, it's a memory, and you're going to have 2 more memories that you get from this, as well as her card, which is a 5 PG card. Like we said yesterday, she doesn't have a 3 PG card yet. So overall, outside of that, 600 souls for her, so you can go ahead and kind of build her up. I think that this is okay. It's got a Starlight one too in here, so $100 is $100, guys. It's always hard for me to recommend these $100 ones, but if you are a huge fan of Elizabeth, if you are just a super fan and you really want to A5 her, if she's one of your favorite characters and you want to use her and build her up for all things PvE, which for all intents and purposes, she is a PvE-oriented character, this is going to be worth it to you, I think. If it were King, for example, my favorite character, I would be all about this, but I digress. It's up to you guys. I don't ever try to tell you how to spend your money. I just try to give you guys my opinion on whether or not there's value in these things. And there is value here based upon the way they value their product in-game. However, $100 is $100. Depends on how much of a whale you are. How much you whale, boy. Anyway, guys, let's move on to the next topic, which is just kind of an aside. I actually wanted to show you guys something real quick. So yesterday, I pointed out that I wasn't able to do this because I didn't see it in my menu, and it turns out it was some sort of just visual bug on my end because I can totally craft these. So I can craft these memories. They are not locking me away from it because I already have her at A5. I was very confused by that, but like I said in yesterday's video, let me know what you guys could figure out on that because I was like, what the heck? So yeah, it's looking like that I can do this, so that is not a problem. But one thing I wanted to point out, the coins you get from the Lady Chang event, we wondered where those were going to be used, and one person did point out to me that they can be used in here to craft these guys. So these are going to be your generic Element Fest memory selection boxes. Maybe this is what they meant in the original patch note, or the dev note rather, when they talked about the Lady Chang Kohan event for the Guild Raid giving us these items. I mean, sure. Memories to me would be, Fest memories at least usually means, a Fest character. But I guess I should read between the lines with Netmarble. They weren't going to be that nice to us. So yeah, when they say that we get Fest memories as rewards for the Lady Chang event, this is what they mean. So if you're wondering where you can use your coins, you use them in here. And yeah. You may get mileage out of this. I don't know. That's up to you guys. But just wanted to make sure that I elaborated on that. Again, if you are someone that already has Kula at A5, you can craft her memories in here. And then this is going to be where you use these funny looking little coins that we were wondering about yesterday. So that is going to be that. Now let's go ahead and move on to some of this Valentine's Day news. Alrighty, you guys, so before we get into the Valentine's Day events, I did want to make sure that I brought up these other 2 things. So basically, they did add an Inferno difficulty to the Element Advent dungeons. These are pretty easy to get through. At 18,000 recommended CP to get through the Inferno, anybody should be able to do that for the most part. So this will be something that is fairly straightforward to get through, but you'll get an extra couple rubies freebies for doing it, so definitely worth it, but wanted to make sure I let you guys know. The other little thing that they did, and they've talked about this for a while, is they went ahead and merged some of these Advent dungeons to consolidate things just a tad, because it was a little bit messy. So the way that works is basically, if it was an Athena-themed Advent dungeon, it's all been added and consolidated into its own, so on and so forth. So all of these will now be just one dungeon. You can actually observe that right now with the Sentai Ranger one. So yeah, everything looking pretty good here, just cleans things up a bit. But let's go ahead and talk about this Valentine's Day stuff. So they did go ahead and show us what we are going to be getting for Valentine's Day events, and it's looking like we're going to get a rerun of the Dark Chocolate Mukai Relay Challenge, which is a rerun. We've had this in the past. For those of you who are new and have never done it, it is not too difficult to get through. It's actually one of the easier ones to do. It's just like any of these events. They try to make these things inclusive with these events if they run for a short period of time. And it's kind of fun just to beat up on a Dark Chocolate Mukai, because look at him. I mean, just look at that hair. He basically, his head looks like a cupcake. It's ridiculous. But yeah, it's an easy one to get through. You guys shouldn't have problems. So the next part of this is basically going to be, they talked about the Valentine's Pass, which we already have. The Valentine's Day login streak, which starts, it looks like, on the 3rd, and then as well as the score event will also be starting on the 3rd, along with the Mukai Relay Challenge. So the score event is looking like it's the exact same as what we've come to expect from these score dungeons. So get your AP ready, make sure that you are buying that from your exchange shops and getting that restocked from these last few events, because they've been coming for our AP hard. There's no news in here about what items we'll be able to exchange in the shop, obviously. We'll know that later. But it looks like that is going to be running until the 17th. So on the 17th, that is a Wednesday. There is potential that we might start hearing kind of rumblings about whatever this collab is around then, but definitely by, it looks like, the 24th, because it looks like that's when you're no longer going to be able to exchange the coins that you get for this, and that's going to be the official end of all the Valentine's Day stuff. So that could be very well be right around the time we start hearing news, but that's all speculation, but is something I observed here. But let's go ahead and get into the biggest news of this video. And thanks to Gigaproto for doing a phenomenal job of data mining yet again, and I will link to his video in the description. And Giga, if you watch my videos, let me know where I can contact you, because I've been trying to figure that out, and you don't allow DMs on Twitter, so just saying. But anyway, guys, make sure you check out his channel. Like I said, I left the link in the description. But he did do another video data mining Mian this time, and she looks phenomenal. I am in love with her character model. She looks great. As you'll see here, that's her wearing one of her masks. And if you had not seen the video yet, or paid attention to what I said in yesterday's video, I had mentioned that there were further data mines for her when we talked about some of these other ones. And the data mines that I was speaking of were these. Now, the thing that you can glean from this is going to be two things. One is, like I mentioned yesterday briefly, she is a yellow attack type, which is going to be something that makes her pretty sought after for me personally, because I want another really good yellow, and I like attack types in general just for specific issues with team leads and things of that nature. So I'm definitely interested for another reason with her for that. But the other thing is, you'll notice up at the top, and I'll blow this up just a bit, but if you look underneath that HP bar, she has burn on her kit. So she is not going to be a Starlight character, she's going to be a burn character. So a yellow attack burn based character is looking like what she is going to be. So yeah, overall, pretty exciting stuff with her. I am hoping that they do her justice and she is really good. Like I said, for those of you who have not checked her out, make sure you do so. The link will be in the description in order to check out this video. It's short, but definitely sweet. Gigaproto does great work, so thank you, Giga, for doing your job on this stuff. And then, speaking of people who do great work, Xenon went ahead and was able to data mine a package asset for her, so it's looking like we are going to be getting her at some point, although I'm not making any promises considering what has gone down with Athena. But that is pretty much what I wanted to talk about, guys. As you'll see here, some more portrait art. So Mian looking great, but that's what I wanted to talk about. I made sure to leave links in the description for all this stuff, but I will talk to you guys in the next video. We'll have our discussion video tomorrow. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and you guys enjoy your Friday. Peace.
continue.